I'm gonna show you the best settings on PUBG Season 20. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Let's get right into it. Alright, the first one on controller button preset, I have that on type A. I suggest you won't touch that. Ignore these as well. Right stick dead zone. The dead zone determines if you have stick drift. So for instance, let me put mine to 1. So as you can see, I have stick drift on my controller. It's moving out of itself, as you can see. So in order to fix that, you have to put it up until you don't feel the stick drift anymore. So mine was at 11. 11 is a sweet spot for me, so I'll have it on 11. Put it back on 11. Apply. Alright, vibration. It's your own personal preference. I'd like that enabled. Vibration strength. Your own preference again. Your forward running sensitivity. This will determine how fast you go forward. So if you hold the top left stick and you're moving like this, it depends how fast it registers. So let me show you real quick. So I have to hold the stick longer in order to register to run. So the sensitivity on the forward running sensitivity should be at least at 20 for me, at least. Alright, moving on. Movement sensitivity. This one is important. Tweaking these settings should supposedly make the game smoother for you. It changes the sensitivity how you move left and right. I'll show you how it's done. So as you can see, moving left and right. Now let's elaborate more on this topic. Alright, you can see that the run technically is not a sprint, but how far you push the stick on the controller. If you're gonna mess with these settings, I would suggest you won't put it too low. Why, you may ask? Because it will mess up your parachute and diving. It will cause you to come down faster that way. So I suggest you find a sweet spot for yourself before you tweak these settings. Vertical sensitivity. Alright, this one will decide how much you pull your stick down to control recoil. I'll show you how it's done. It doesn't, I'm not pulling hard on the stick because it's twitchy for me. So it's sensitive, you know what I mean? So the higher you have it, the more sensitive it is. Let's put it on 134. Oh, shit. Didn't work, my bad. There's a motherfucker punching me. Oh, motherfucker. Okay. Now it's too sensitive for me, so these settings is not right for me. So I like to have it at 100 or 101, but it's your own personal preference. But the higher it is, the more sensitive it is for pulling down the stick. Alright, moving on. General sensitivity. This will determine how your free look camera sensitivity is. So you can see this is how fast I turn, right? Now let's tweak these settings and see how sensitive, my bad, it is. And my English is not very good, guys. I apologize in advance. So as you can see, it's way faster now. Holy shit! I would suggest you put it on 10, but it's shown for personal preference. But if you like the sensitivity, how fast it goes right now, you can put it at 18, but I wouldn't suggest you do. So I'm gonna put it back on 10. Alright, moving on. Vehicle driver sensitivity is the same as general sensitivity, but it applies on vehicles, how fast you turn when you look in a vehicle. So you can imagine what I just showed you right now as a general sensitivity. How fast you turn with your character, it's the same how fast you turn with the car while you're driving around. Alright. Aim acceleration. When turned on, it makes your sensitivity speed up. I suggest you put it on, have it on enable. Aim acceleration rate, ignore this. Over the shoulder aiming sensitivity. This will determine how fast your sensitivity is when you aim over the shoulder. As you can see, it's not very fast for me, but I'd like to have it this way because if you're tracking someone from up close, what happens if he moves like right or left really quickly? You have to track. If you have it too fast, you're gonna go over the target. Look, I'll show you how. Now, see how I'm tracking him? It's too fast. You won't be able to track him like this. Alright, moving on. Let's see. Ignore this one. Have it on 10. And the ADS, aiming down sights, what you all be waiting for. I suggest keep these settings to your liking, but in the past, I would suggest you have all of these settings in the same sensitivity. That way it makes it easier for your muscle memory. But I've been playing this game for 2 years, and I've learned my muscle memory with these different types of scopes. For me, this works. But I would suggest you put it all on 9, like 1 on 9, 2 on 9, 3 on 9.5 on 9, 4 on 8.5, 6 on 8, and 8 on 7.5. That's what I would suggest. Don't touch the 15 scope, by the way. Alright, moving on. Gameplay. Game DVR disabled. Colorblind mode. This is your own personal preference. If you want orange blood, have it on Tritonopia. Cross that color. You can change this, but I'd like to have it on default. But you can change it. Hide nicknames and kill feed. Own personal preference. On-screen button hints. Personal preference. On-screen key guide detail level. Basic. I like to have it in basic. This is your own personal preference. Man, my bad, guys. I'm not used to this. Compass background. You can enable it for callouts. If somebody says calls on an enemy, he says 310. Look, you can see enemy at 310. Look at 310 right away, like this. But I have it disabled because I'm used to the game. Back. So enabled. Blue flash. I'd like to have it on glow. It makes it more visible to see blue like that. You know what I mean? You can have it on pulse. It's your own personal preference. Inventory tooltips. Own personal preference. Reticle type. Own preference. I'd like to have it on type 7. Makes me see enemies more clearly. I'd like to have it on green as well. These ones on green. If it's on green, it makes it more easier to see the enemies. Or it's your own personal preference. Red also works. Reticle type force scope. I'd like to have this on type 1. It makes it more nicer to see enemies when you're shooting instead of this. There's too much happening in there. Same as this one. So I'd like to have it on this one, like the Car 98 scope. Type 1 for this one. Reticle type is high. You can have it on medium, but I'd like to have it on high or custom. The full firing mode on handgun single. SMG's full auto. Always have to full auto. Firing mode AR is full auto. Always have that full auto. DMR single taps. Shotguns, I don't touch it. Reset to the right shoulder for the TTP aim camera position. It's your own personal preference, but I'd like to have it on right shoulder. Auto reload enable. Auto quick attachment enable. Auto quick disable. You might want to change the scope on different guns. Auto place attachments. You can disable this. I have it on enable. Save now. Auto place weapon skin. Enable. Hide helmet. Own personal preference. If you want to see a glorious head, just pin on it, enable. But I have it disabled. Radio message enable or disabled, your own personal preference. Quick ping, always have this enabled because if you're playing ranked or pubs and you call out an enemy, if you press the R stick like this, you can quick ping an enemy, as you can see. It's way faster for your teammates to see enemies and they will help you out if they see them. Alright, moving on. Continuous item use, bandages only. You can have this off or on, it's your own preference. Additional action queuing. I'd like this disabled. Highlight recommended ammo, enable. Equipment, enable. Camera speed, your own personal preference, but I'd like to have it in 18. Play tag enable, play weapon tag enable, x-ray enable, damage indicator, always enable. Smoke grenade timer. I'd like to have this enabled because you want to see when the timer runs out of your smoke when you're rezzing somebody. That determines when you have to use another smoke again to be safe. Bullet tracer enabled to see where bullets are coming from your enemy or where you're shooting the enemy at to see if your bullet velocity is going to the correct way. Color differentiation enabled to distinguish colors on bullet tracers. Death cam enabled to see if somebody's cheating or not, or you feel like your death is not justified, to see how it worked out for you when you got killed by an enemy. Audio, always have this on master, 100. Gameplay 100, emote, you can tone this down because it's annoying sometimes. Weapon sound effects mastered. UI enable, UI volume 100, music, I have this on 20. Voice input open mic, but you can disable it. Graphics, safe area, always have this at 100. Field of view, I have this on max because I'd like to see everything that's happening around my surroundings. This way you can spot enemies more clearly and see enemies more visibly when it's max. If it's like 80, it's not nice. So always have this on the max. Like, oh my bad, I didn't show you it. Like this, see? You don't see, like, you see this left side? Okay, now let's change it back. Now you see a lot more, see? A lot more. Alright. Brightness, I have this on 70, or it's your own personal preference. If it's too much, it's clunky, you see too much, it's too bright. You don't see a lot of enemies then. But try to find a balance for that. Universal brightness for all maps enable, anti-aliasing, FXAA, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.